This project we're going to do now is fitting a new petrol tank. Now, when I got my Zoomer, one of the points the seller made was that the previous owner, the key had stuck in the petrol cap, and he'd been forced to basically hack off the petrol cap he had with a screwdriver, which had left the screw attachment on the tank itself just all bent out of shape and a mess. So the petrol cap isn't sitting as it should, and it doesn't lock as it should. That and the fact that the tank on the bike is pretty rusty, it's not in best of condition. So I've always had it in mind to swap the tank over, which means I can lock it properly and also just to clean it up. And it also gives me an opportunity to take out the fuel pump, because that's one of the areas apparently that is most likely to fail in a Zoomer. And with the fuel pump unit itself coming in at a ridiculous £350 to buy a new one, I wanted to have a look at it, because you can go online in Chinese auction sites and in eBay and you can pick up the actual little pump unit that fits in it itself. Now that's the thing that's going to go. So I want to have a proper look at the whole unit and see how easy it is to dismantle, and just check out the connections if I ever need to get one of those little units, because I'm certainly not really wanting to pay £350 to Honda for a whole new pump unit when all I need basically is the little motor pump itself. So we're going to take off the fuel tank, empty out the fuel obviously from the old one. There shouldn't be much in it. Check out the fuel pump. I'll check out the filter on the fuel pump, because that's like a little kind of tea bag thing which just filters the fuel. I've no idea what condition that is in. It might be fine, it might be in bits, it might be manky. If it is, we'll get it cleaned up and put back on, and just generally do a bit of service around the fuel situation. So the tank, here we go, one new fuel tank. Cost £152 from Honda. You can't do much about that. There's not any off-market ones for 20 quid you can buy, so you've got to bite the bullet with that. So £152 for the new tank, but it is one thing I wanted to do when I got the bike. So we're going to go down, we're going to strip off the seat and the underfloor, obviously, which will give us access to the fuel tank, and then we'll take some video and have a look at it and swap it over, and hopefully everything is okay. Okay, see you shortly. Okay, so to get at the petrol tank, obviously we need to remove the seat, which is just 2 bolts there and 1 there. That's on either side, dead easy. And to remove the floor panel here, because the tank is under here, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 bolts. And under here you have a screw there, and a little screw just goes in there, both sides. Take those out and the floor panel just lifts off. It's the joy of working on this bike, it is so simple. So we'll get the floor panel off, then we'll have a look at the fuel tank that's actually there. Okay, so panel's off. This is my fuel tank at the moment. Now as you can see, it's a bit on the rusty side, it's not in the best of condition. This is the main reason. This has been hacked to bits by a screwdriver or something, which means that the cap doesn't sit properly and doesn't lock. So that is what I want to put the new tank on for particularly. I also want this is the fuel pump under here. That's the cable for your sensor for your low fuel warning. So we want to remove this pump, obviously to change the tank. I want to have a look at the state of the pump and also the filter inside here, and just have a wee look at that. So we'll take all these bolts off, disconnect this, and have a look at it and get it out of here and check it over. So again, dead simple to do. There's nothing here that's difficult. I mean, I'm not a mechanic or anything like that. This is the first time I've ever fitted a fuel tank. The fuel tank itself isn't even really bolted on, it's just loose. So it's just a question of, we're going to take that off, drain the fuel obviously into a bucket, and have a look and see what we can find. So back in a moment. So that's the fuel pump out, that just disconnects. There's a little green that goes in there, just holds the connector for the fuel pump in, and here is your fuel pump. Now this actually looks in pretty good condition. I'm going to take that filter off. I'm not sure what colour that's supposed to be, but I'm going to take it off and give it a little clean just in case it's not supposed to be brown, but it looks okay. Condition looks fine. So we're going to give it a wee clean up on top, check the fuel filter, and then we're going to obviously empty the tank, put the new one on and reconnect it. There's no fuel coming back off this, it's all fine. The pump must just pump it straight in, so there's nothing flooding back in or anything. All looks good, so Excellent, so far so good. So, shiny new tank in place. I'm just giving this a bit of a polish up with some metal polish. This is the bracket that goes over this. Remember to put the bracket on before you reattach the hose or the clip, or you won't get it on. I've checked the cap, that now fits perfectly and locks, so that's good. So basically now just got to get it all back together, empty the fuel out the old tank, presumably, as long as that's in good condition, and I have to say it looks alright, then we'll just put that straight back into here, and that'll be another job done.